Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More, and in today's episode I want to talk to you about a game called Sword and Backpack Reforged. I found this game when I was trolling through Lulu, looking for some stuff for one of the other game systems that I enjoy playing, and I ran across the cover art as one of the We Recommends items, and I thought it looked pretty neat, so I read the blurb. I thought the blurb sounded fun. But I really liked the cover art. The cover art is what sold me on it more than anything else, and it does not disappoint. So I'm going to go over it very briefly, and then we'll move on. Sword and Backpack is a tabletop RPG for the story-driven adventurer. It is a very, very rules light. Let's see. Originally by Bothbard and Gaspus, inspired by James Spahn, additional material by Olde House Rules, this zine by James T. Hook, art by Inked Gas, and the character sheet by Mr. Gone. And this was made in 2024. You can find it on Lulu in either print or PDF fashion. The cool part about the print fashion is once you get past the rules and the character sheet, you get a whole bunch of dot matrix pages. That's the rest of the book is all just dot matrix stuff. Now, is that just a way for them to make the minimum requirements for having enough pages in the book to be a book that you can sell on Lulu? Yes. Is it useful? Also yes. So we're fine. Okay, what is the core concept of this game? The core concept is you pretty much pick a job. Do you want to have a sword and be a fighter? Do you want to have thieves' tools and be a thief or a rogue? Do you want to have a spell book and be a magic user or a wizard? That's it. There's no stats. There's no big complicated, no. That's it. Now, what you can do from there is you can add in elements of a backstory, talking about who you are in a storytelling fashion. And then that also informs a bit about what your character can do. Because if you have something that your character is good at based upon their backstory, then the target number when you're trying to roll or trying to do something for that is lower. And if it's something that you're bad at for whatever reason, because you have nothing points to it, then the target number is going to be higher. How is the game played? You need two 20-sided dice. Most of the time you're going to roll just one. And you will roll against whatever target number the storyteller sets based upon your character's background and what they're capable of. On rare occasions, you'll have the ability to roll two dice and select the number you want. All right, cool, not a problem. Then on also rare occasions or during combat, you will be rolling a die and the game master will be rolling a die, and whoever rolls highest wins. And then the other person subtracts a wound from their character or from the monster. Most monsters are going to have maybe 1 to 3 wounds. Most characters will have 10. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. It's, there's a few other gubbins here and there that kind of add fun to it. There's a whole dungeon punk manifesto, which I'm not going to go over here, but it's neat. I like it. There's sample character sheets. Sample characters that kind of go into more detail about how it all works. And then there's a character sheet. So the neat part for this is that each character has the one thing that they're good at. So that the fighter gets the sword. And their sword is their special weapon. And you're encouraged to make it as fancy as you want or as interesting as you want. And then the rogue gets the toolkit, and their toolkit is kind of like their big deal. That's the thing. That's not saying rogues can't fight. They're just not going to be as good at it as the warrior. The wizard gets a spellbook. And then when the wizard wants to cast spells, they have to have a verbal component and a manual component. What that means is when you are casting a spell, you speak the words as the player, not as the character, but you speak the words, and then you make a hand motion that matches what is described in the spell. For example, to cast Arcane Arrow, you have to say, Arrow of Light, and mime shooting an arrow from a longbow. And that's pretty much it. And then your target loses 1 wound. Okay. Initiative is basically handled as when it is appropriate for the story, that is when all the characters will go and then all the monsters will go. And if it's appropriate for the story that the monsters go first, then that is what happens. So there's no initiative. There is basically maximum storyteller fiat for this. So you'd want to have, as a storyteller, you'd want to basically have a good grasp of how to be fair and how to make sure that everyone gets a turn to play. Having said that, what I think that this game is really great for would be for either A, story solo playing. So like if you're playing a solo game and you're really more interested in like writing a book or journaling as they call it, and just having a minimum amount of rules to kind of help you keep things a little bit random, then this game's got you covered. Just grab this and then you could probably do your favorite Oracle and you're good to go. But Mythic GM Emulator is a good one. I personally prefer OSR Solo, but either one would work. And this would also be great for kids because you can hand it to the kids. They're going to love making the hand motions and speaking the words. And when I say kids, I mean kids, not teenagers. I'm talking kids. They're going to like this. There's no math. There's no adding and subtracting. There's just comparing numbers, which is kind of cool, and people can grok it. It's also be great for if you're just hanging out with your buddies. They don't know what role playing is. They look at the big, thick player's handbook for most games and go, that's fine. Give them this. Don't even give it to them. Just explain it and then get them playing within 10 minutes. And you're good to go. So I kind of like that. This is really good for those kind of moments. And the art is just kind of fun. It's really just fun art. Did a good job. Inked Gas, well done. I kind of just didn't really enjoy that cover. That was very well done. So again, Sword and Backpack, rules light gaming, at the lightest I have seen, while still being a functional RPG, and I'm here for it. I love it. It's really cool. Wanted to share with all of you. I hope you appreciated, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate you leaving a like and a comment below. Let me know what kind of things you can imagine doing with this. I can tell you right now that I can already imagine how to play a bard, because you play a magic user and then you talk to the GM about making sure that the verbal component for your spells of giving your friends an advantage on something is song lyrics, whatever song lyrics you want, and then the material component is you strumming a musical instrument or strumming a musical instrument or something like that, and just have fun with it. It embraces that table creativity and that fun without necessarily allowing things to get bogged down in the rules, so that everyone can just kind of let the rules slip to the side and get to the fun parts without necessarily throwing the rule book out altogether, because most people don't really want to do that. We like rule books because they help us understand how to play something that we ourselves aren't. And so that's why some rules are good, and you don't want to just be like flipping a coin to find out who wins or loses in something. This game does that. I think it does it fairly well. I'll probably try it out. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a good one. Peace. Bye-bye.